Next game, Minnesota Vikings, 6-1, looking to continue this hot streak they've had. Going into the Washington Commanders, another team. They're fighters. They've got a couple wins here. Big wins. Win over Green Bay, a sloppy win over Chicago. Um,
Crazy win in Indy by 1 point.
Win in Indy, big win in Indy. But I'm trying to think of the quarterback's name. But
they could have beat Tennessee a couple weeks ago too if it wasn't for that. Carson Wentz didn't get in the way.
Heineke.
Yeah, but nope. Heineke. Yep. Heineke, they're fighters over there. So I got to go Vikings here. I like everything Vikings bring on it to the table for as offense wise goes, and then for the Commanders on offense. As great as Terry McLaurin is, you can't keep having Taylor Heineke close his eyes and throwing a Hail Mary pass to Terry McLaurin and thinking he's going to complete that jump ball every time. That saved them 2 of these last 3 games. So given that, I think, Harrison Smith back there, he knows how to, shut down those plays. So I'm going to go Vikings.
Have we at all this season got our hands on got to see it all this year Chase Young at all?
Wasn't he in last week?
Game.
Huh?
He's
this game, I thought he was in last week.
I'm not sure if he was or not.
Says he's out.
But yeah, he's been banged up most of the year. You're right.
Says he's out. Combs out. McKissick's out. Dodson's out.
McKissick's out.
Mayo's out. There's a lot of people out here for Washington. Commanders. They're on it's a fire sale for the company. They're on sale right now. You guys want to buy it? You want a Commander? Want to buy a Commander? I can't realistically pick the Commanders here. I mean, yeah, I'm a Heineke fan, and he's been playing well. There's no arguing that. I mean, he comes in and he changes the atmosphere. This guy's a baller. He's gonna go out there. He's gonna play. He's gonna fight. He's gonna throw those balls up. He's gonna put that ball where his receiver can make a play on it. I mean.
I wouldn't say he's a baller. I'll say he's a gunslinger and a wrist.
All right, I'll take. Okay,
baller.
Yeah, okay, he's a gunslinger. There's just a lot out on defense though for me. I mean, I'm looking at the. There's a lot of guys out for me that I got to go Minnesota here. There's a lot of guys out for the Commanders. I don't know about you, Nick, but I'm taking Minnesota because they're on fire right now. And I just don't think that the Commanders are going to be able to slow down this rolling machine of Minnesota right now. 6-1, chugging along.
Well, I'm taking Minnesota here, but I'm not buying in on them just quite yet, because they beat Miami without Tua. The rest of their games have been pretty easy. They haven't played nobody big. They beat Arizona without DeAndre Hopkins. They played Chicago early in the season when they weren't real good. New Orleans, same sort of deal. They haven't had a hard schedule. I'm not buying in on them yet. I think they're the better team in this matchup in particular, though. Washington's just kind of all over the place. Injuries that Eddie was kind of mentioning are kind of stacking up for them on defense and offense. I like Heineke too. You look at the stats, Minnesota is scoring more points, has more yards. Washington's only putting up 17 points a game, almost 18, 17.8 a game, and Minnesota's putting up 24, almost 25. So Minnesota, way more talented offense, although there's some talent on Washington. Just not enough for me in this one. Minnesota look to improve to 7-1.
Look, it's hard for me to say this because of what happened on, week 2 or week 3 when the Eagles beat the Vikings. But what's the big separation between those two teams? It's one loss, and it was a head-to-head matchup. Eagles came on top. I feel like you've got to put a little respect on the Vikings' name. Do I feel like they're a legit NFC contender to make it to the Super Bowl? No. But they're going to be in the playoffs. I think that's pretty solid. And and they're capable of beating a lot of the teams that are going to join them in the playoffs if they play a good game. Their defense has slowly been a little bit better. They're pretty good against the run. Pass defense still a little itchy. I'm taking Minnesota in this particular matchup, mainly because Washington's secondary is not good, and then you ship off William Jackson to Pittsburgh. I don't think that makes you any better. Not that I was a William Jackson fan or on Washington. I think they overpaid for him. They just signed him last year to, I think it was like $40-something million contract. Not a good sign. I read the report on Chase. He's not going to be activated above in time for this game, so he's probably looking at another week sitting out. So no Chase Young. So I think Minnesota outpaces them. I like Heineke. I like Heineke better as the starter than I do Wentz all day long. And he's a baller for what he can do. He balls out for a guy out of an Ivy League school, similar to a Ryan Fitzpatrick. He balls. He's not good enough, at the end of the day to be an elite quarterback. It's just not capable. But if he had the talent, that dude would put it together. I like him. I very much like him. And it's the best thing that Washington did for a while is putting him back in the lineup. But it's not enough for me to beat Minnesota here. I'm going Vikings.
Minnesota's defense letting up 401 yards a game. I mean, over 100 yards rushing on the ground, almost 300 yards passing. They're almost letting up there. I mean, it's possible the Commanders can sling the rock and maybe try and control it with the run game. Maybe get something going. Little Brian Robinson, little 1-2 punch there with not McLaurin, but Gibson, yeah, a little 1-2 punch there with Gibson. Maybe get over 100 yards rushing. You slow things down a bit. Don't allow that high-powered Minnesota offense to come out on the field. Potentially, there's potential there, but I gotta go Mini too. I think that Cook and all those weapons now, and plus they got Hawkinson over there. I think that they're looking strong over there. Minnesota.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, let's not forget about them adding Hawkinson, and if anything, he's just he'll be a big distraction for them, to allow Justin Jefferson to get open a little bit.
Yeah, I can tell you, he wouldn't have dropped that pass that the tight end escapes my mind, but the pass that was dropped again, Irv Smith dropped against Philly when that could have just totally changed the complexion of the game. Hawkins is not dropping that one. It'd be interesting how that affects the offense moving forward.
Yep. But all right, let's jump into this final 1:00 game.
You're going Minnesota too?
Yeah, Minnesota as well. Yeah, if I didn't say that already, yeah, Minnesota as well. Just the way that offense is, and like I said, I don't trust Heineke to do what he did against Green Bay and close his eyes and throw up a Hail Mary to Taylor McLaurin again.
That was our first. That was our first all around.
Yeah.
We all took the Bills, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Back to back.